What's up? Hello, beautiful people, Facebook family. Those of you who are just tuning in, perhaps you're on replay. My name is Dr.Nima Rahmany. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm really looking forward to sharing this really important revelation that I got just in my own journey. This is for you, especially you guys. This is specifically for men who want to know how to completely dissolve the resentment of their partners. Not necessarily just for men. However, even in same-sex couples, you know, there's going to be a masculine and a feminine. This is specifically for the masculine role in a masculine-feminine relationship, even in same-sex couples. This applies to you. But before I begin, I really want to share where I'm at right now. This here, got my laptop here. I'm in the beautiful island of Kauai at the St. Regis. I'm here at a business mastermind, and I had a revelation yesterday that I really wanted to share with you guys. You can see the surfers out there in the middle of the ocean. I don't know if you've ever been. Let me know if you've ever been. Have you been to Kauai? Have you been to Hawaii? Let me also know who you are and where you're tuning in from. The best Facebook Lives and the information that you're going to get is maximized when there's maximum engagement. So let me know where you're tuning in from. Please send some love. If something I say is a revelation for you that you really get, that really helps you, let me know. Just give me a little shout out or something. Let me know where you're tuning in from. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Dr. Nima Rahmany. I've been a chiropractor for the past 16 years. With the fact that the majority of the patients that came to see me with problems with their bodies came from stress-related disorders. So I really enjoy sharing with people the underlying foundations of the root cause of why they got sick and stressed and stuck in the first place. And the answer to all of that is resentment. And I love to teach it in a very entertaining way. So I like to do these little workshops, and I like to do little rap song. I actually wrote a rap song about resentment. And because it's funny, I travel the world and I teach people about resentment. And when I left my practice, my practice of about 16 years, there was a great deal of resentment that I was having to go through. It was like going through a second divorce. So here I am traveling the world, teaching people about resentment. And not only am I the president, I'm also a client. So it's work that I'm consistently doing on myself. And I teach this process called the overview method. And I have a program that I teach with helping people clear their resentment. And so what I discovered in my relationship with Amanda was how triggered I become when I perceive resentment coming towards me. And it forced me to have to look at a lot of things within myself. Let me know where you're tuning in from, where you're signing in from, little comment of where you're at, and if something that I'm saying is resonating with you. And yesterday, I'm in a kind of a mastermind meeting. Hey, Brendan, what's up, brother? Grace and Brendan, you're just in the island next door, I know. So what I noticed within myself is here I am with my partner, and I'm looking at her, and she's just giving me daggers with her energy. How many of you guys, if you're paying attention, let me know if you can relate to this. Giving daggers of resentment towards me with her energy. Or how many of you ladies who are listening in are like, yeah, sometimes I just look at them and I just want to freaking, and you're sitting there as a man, you want to be able to say that, you know, you're helping contribute to the well-being of your woman, and you're really being a conscious partner, and you're doing everything you can to try to make her happy. And it seems like no matter what you do, you're looking at her and you're just like, are you serious? Like, what are you mad about? What's wrong? And so I went through this entire process, and this is the stuff that I teach people: stress and resentment. And then it's interesting, I've been faced with the question of, what do you do about your own resentment? I know what to do about my own resentment, but what do you do when your partner is looking at you and wants to just wring your neck, and you're looking and going, what the just happened? Like, what happened? Like, what did I just do? Am I not busting my balls? Am I not busting my ass to try to make you happy? What's going on? And so this becomes a big source of contention, because what'll then happen is, if you don't get this right, you reach out to try to connect physically, and then there's like an emotional wall that comes down. And then if you don't get this right, all of a sudden you start getting resentment back, and then that kind of makes you not even want to reach out anymore, because you're now faced with feelings of rejection. How many of you guys know what I'm talking about? And it sucks. It actually sucks as a man who's trying to be a good man for your partner. And so I came up with this little sheet. I wrote down a few notes of what you guys can do. It's my intention here for you guys to learn to do something so that you can take action, because without taking action, nothing changes. You can postulate and have an insight, but without an action step, nothing changes. So the first thing that you are to do when this happens, you're reaching out to your partner and you're doing whatever, you're working your butt off. You are bringing home the bacon. You're doing all that you can, and sometimes you feel unappreciated. You feel like a freaking ATM machine to a person who is completely resentful towards you. It sucks. It sucks, and then it causes a resentment within you, and then so you're feeling unappreciated, and that reaction doesn't actually lend to the outcome that you want. So this is for you if you really want to bridge that gap and create this. And so I tried this on yesterday, and it worked beautifully, and I'm going to share exactly what you are to do. So the first thing that you're going to do, number one, is to connect with those feelings. So let's take an example. You reach out and you're in bed and you want to connect with your partner, and she's got this emotional wall up, and you reach out and you try to touch her, you try to reach out and you try to hug, but then you notice that there's this built up resentment, and then there's this wall. And all of a sudden, the first reaction that most guys will do, you know, in terms of the clients that I work with, the first reaction is they start to get offended. And it's because of an unawareness of our feelings. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to connect with those feelings. And if you're like most guys, and if you're like me, the feelings that come up is rejection. So realize that you're being triggered because of a past rejection in the schoolyard, when you were 18 years old, or when you were 13 and you went up to ask that girl out, or whether your girlfriend in the past, or even deeper from your past. In my case, I became very present to the feelings of rejection because I was present to feelings of a lack of physical connection with my mother, for example. If that story hasn't been resolved, I'll reach out to my partner, I'll get that cold response, and all of a sudden that feeling of rejection that came from mother comes up. So if you haven't completed that, then that's going to come up. So realize that that feeling that comes up is something that comes towards you. And yes, absolutely, the feeling goes towards the other side as well. It absolutely happens. But this is really for the men. You women get a lot of the support here. The men, not so much, Janet. So I appreciate you being there, but this is really for the guys out there. And especially this, you might be able to resonate to, as well as women and same-sex couples, as I was saying. So the first thing that you want to do is connect to the feelings, and what comes up is rejection, and realize that that's unresolved rejection for you. The second thing that you want to do, number two, is do not make this mean anything about you. Do not make that. You seem to be the messenger of this lesson. You seem to be the person involved, but I got to tell you that this is really the first step. If you really want the outcome, remember, the outcome is what we want. The outcome, what you're looking for, what I'm looking for, what we're all looking for, is a greater connection with our partner. So do not make this about you. So you want to ask yourself this question. Brendan has no clue what you're talking about. It's so funny. I just read that right now. The question you want to ask yourself is, what am I making this mean about me? And so what happens is when you reach out and she's being a complete cold-hearted individual towards you, I don't want to use labels and names, but I'm sure you guys have done that in your breakdowns, as I have in the past. Instead of looking at that, stop and take a moment to reflect. Connect with the feelings. I'm feeling rejected. What am I making that mean about me? What you're making it mean about you is that I'm not enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not a good person. I'm a bad boyfriend, partner / husband, whatever it is. You want to create that. You want to become present to the story that you're making it about you. Because the second you make it about you, what's happening and what I've observed is that she just wants to be heard and loved for who she is. And by us turning it around and making it about us and saying, what, am I not good enough? What the hell? And it's our old stuff coming back. We immediately create that disconnection and that bond is broken. Okay? So, you know, the next step, and this is what I did. So this is what happened yesterday. We were in the seminar and I just felt all of this wall coming up. I attempted to reach out. It was a wall. So I kind of looked and I'm like, okay, I started feeling the feelings of rejection. I'm making it mean I'm not a good person. I became totally aware of that. And then when the seminar was over, I came into the hotel room. I took out my iPhone and I pressed the 10-minute timer button. This is what you're going to do. This is the magic here. This is the juice that I'm giving you right here. The number 3 is the art of holding space. You are going to take your woman, your partner, and you're going to take your iPhone. You're going to do a 10-minute timer. You're going to put it out there and you're going to say, I am going to be, including yourself, Christina, absolutely. You're going to put that timer out and you're going to allow that partner, your woman, to completely unload. And by the way, this is masculine, feminine. So when your partner, this is for women too, when your man is really putting that wall up, he's in his feminine. And this is basically the way that it works. And what you're going to want to do, men, this is for you men. Let's put the women away. I know it seems to be only women listening, and I appreciate that. You guys have a lot to contribute, I'm sure. But this is for you men. You put that timer out and you let the woman completely unfold. We're playing in a minefield of hormones here. And it changes from week to week during her cycle, guys. It is completely changes. There's times when she needs to be self-care. There's times when the resentment is building. There's times when she's repressing. So everything is completely different week to week, day to day. And so the wise thing to do, gentlemen, is in those moments when you feel that wall is up, you take that 10-minute timer, you put it out there. And what that enables you to do is enables a woman who's deeply in resentment and she's pissed off and she's in her masculine and she's wanting to rage, but she's repressing it. What she's doing is she's trying to play nice and try to be the nice person and try to be the one-sided. So she's repressing and repressing and repressing in an attempt to be nice. And whoa, damn, that shit comes out in a freaking tidal wave during that time of the month if she's not allowed to express it. So you're doing yourself a favor, guys, by taking out that timer, putting it out there, and allowing her 10 minutes of unadulterated expression. Now, this is the tough part. This is the part when us pleasers, us guys who want to be liked, who want, myself included, want to be always positive, always being appreciated and liked and all that. This is going to be the tough part for her to express all of her feelings. So I did this yesterday with Amanda, and she was coming out with all of her feelings, and you got to resist the urge to speak. You got to resist the urge to fix anything. You got to resist the urge. While she's saying stuff to you, you want to facepalm and go, are you effing serious? Are you freaking serious? Is this exactly how you feel? Are you so blind to the other? You got to just zip it, and you got to turn in and only pay attention. This takes discipline. This is an art. This is a science. This is a raging rhino. Absolutely you do. We all do. We all have those moments, but this is for the guys. You let them express, and a weird thing happens, and you don't try to fix it. All that she's looking for is not to be fixed. She is not looking to be fixed. This is the toughest part because we're logical guys, right? We're like, the fuck you complaining about? If you're complaining, I got the answer for you. Here's how you solve it. Just quit your complaining and just start loving me again. This is what we're thinking as guys, right? But that's not what they need. It sounds weird to us. Yes, men are from Mars and women are from Venus. They want to express their rage and not be judged for it. They want to express their rage and not to be fixed. That's why they get together and they, you know, women get together and they love to complain and piss and moan and bitch about us, but that's just because they feel safe doing it. So your job is to have the art of holding space. Number 3, the art of holding space, contain like a big container, a bucket, which means you allow them to verbally diarrhea vomit all of their resentments towards you, which is the toughest thing for a man to do, especially when he wants to have her approval and he's afraid of rejection. This is all our past stuff coming up where we got rejected by the girl at the bar or the girl in the schoolyard who, you know, who picked a different guy than us. Guess what? That's all going to come up, especially if you haven't done the personal development work to kind of transform that. It's going to come up. And so your job in the art of holding space is to actually hold a bucket and allow her to dump everything about you, about her life. And it's really realizing it's all her stuff. This is the toughest thing to do, is to realize this is all her stuff coming up from her past that hasn't been complete. And she just verbally diarrhea vomits everything, vomits and diarrheas everything into your container, and you hold space and you don't make her wrong, and you catch yourself and you are aware of your emotional triggers, but you don't make her wrong or make yourself wrong in that moment. And I have great news for you guys. If you do this right and you get this part right, what happens is she then unloads all of it. You don't even have to fix it. You just hear her and you learn these ninja communication strategies, which I teach my clients in about, and I'm constantly working on in myself, to be able to really repeat back how they're feeling and the commitment behind what they're saying. And once they're gotten, you see this rage of emotion and resentment turn to nothing. And then you finish it off by giving her an embrace. And what that does is it takes her completely out of her masculine into her vulnerable feminine. And I got to tell you, it took for me. I got myself an alpha woman, and so it's tougher for us. For us, I got to admit, it's like herding cats sometimes. No offense to her, but she'll be the first to admit it. But it took me 20. Didn't take just 10. It took 20, 10-minute, and she went from seething anger, upset about all of the stuff that I'm doing, to all of a sudden coming out. And then the real truth came out. Her vulnerability came out. The tears came out. She came completely into her feminine. It was a complete transformation. And after the seminar was over, we went to dinner. And it was an incredible evening. It was amazing. And let me tell you, the outcome, I got the outcome that I wanted, which was, we all know what the outcome us guys want. I don't have to pretend. I don't got to fake it. I don't got, let's be honest, that's the outcome that we want. So if you're willing to put up with and to hold space with and to put up with the rage you feel when you're being criticized, when you're feeling like you're not heard, you're willing to put up with that, I promise you, gentlemen, you will get the outcome. Ladies, you want to share this with a guy? Please tag somebody that you know that needs to hear this. Tag your partners into this. Tag somebody that you know that really has not got this right. I am a work in progress, folks, and I've committed to doing the work on myself and teaching everything, every revelation that I have from my mentors, from investing in myself. And I can tell you what works and what doesn't. And what doesn't work is you trying to interrupt and to make that person wrong, make her wrong. It doesn't work when you jump in and try to be heard and you play your victim role. The question is, what outcome do you want, gentlemen? And the outcome that you want is a great physical connection. Most guys, from what I know from the clients that I see, they want to feel desired. They want to feel loved. But when a woman has got complete resentment, she's got that block. And if you don't get this right and you don't do your part in it, what'll happen? Women and men, both partners, what a guy will do is he'll turn to porn to get that validation. Or the woman at the office who's kind of smiling and winking at him and really giving him what the woman, his wife or partner, is lacking. You become vulnerable to infidelity if we don't get this right. And we're all human. I've done it. I've had people, my clients, I would say most times, I would say the majority, 75 to 80% of a breakdown or a relationship limbo that's happening, there is this dynamic going on, and there's no tools, there's no accountability, there's no a truth and authenticity, and there's a lie that's being held, often an infidelity that's gone on that hasn't been unpacked. One of my clients was calling me when they were basically on a divorce. He's like, me and my partner split up and they were ready to call it quits. And he was like, it's over, it's done, it's my ex-wife. And he was calling her by ex. And I was like, whoa, hold on. And we taught him these tools, among others. Took him through the Powerfully Aligned program, get him clean with his mission statement, get him clean and set an intention. And then the art of this holding another person had, that she met in another man, she really desperately wanted her husband to have that, which was our client. And once he learned that, all of a sudden she dropped that other like a sack of potatoes, and there was a reunion happening, and they are just killing it now together. And what I discovered through this process was, who am I to be making such a claim to be talking about relationships? Who I am is I would say a transitional anxiety expert for people who are stuck in relationship limbo, stuck in career limbo, any limbo of inauthentic, caused by an inauthenticity, of a lack of connection with self. I'm an expert because I've been divorced, because I've gone through a career transition, because I've helped hundreds, connected with thousands of people over the world, help them become powerfully aligned with who they are. And so for those of you basically who really want to learn how to become powerfully aligned, I have a live training. Training that I have online. Go to Dr.Nima.com and get registered for the for the training that I give, the 5 steps that I take every client through to get them powerfully aligned to their purpose, to their potential, so that they can have powerful relationships where they're not holding back, they're connected physically, they have an ability to speak, and they feel that desire again, because there's nothing more desirable to a woman than a man who will actually listen and get them. And one of the mistakes that I made in my relationship with my ex-wife was that she kept complaining, and I didn't understand. I was like, teach me. She didn't have the tools. I didn't. She kept saying, you just don't get me. You just don't get me. I get it now. I had to go through a divorce. And so what I love doing is helping people like yourself, Christina, like yourself, Grace, avoid the divorce process by getting yourself powerfully aligned with who you are, and then learning powerful communication strategies like the art of holding space and all of those things. And so for those of you, there's a fork in the road that happens. And for those of you who are feeling stuck and feeling hopeless, one of my clients was like, it's going to take a miracle. And it's not necessarily. It could just be a strategy call. It could just be one simple breakthrough that you need. And what I'm offering is for you to just reach out to me and set up a call. And what I would do is get on the phone with you, get on a call with you, and your partner, and really see what the resentments are like. Because really, here's the most important thing, that we are all responsible for clearing our own resentments. At the end of the day, you can't make somebody else. You can do these little strategies and these tools of holding space and giving the 10-minute timer, and it's very important that you do. But at the end of the day, if you're not able to clear your own resentments, which come from your own past events, then it's costing you potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars in a divorce. And that's what it cost me, hundreds of thousands of dollars. I asked one of my clients, how much is a divorce going to cost you? He said $100 million. So you got to kind of look and see what these resentments in your life are costing you, not just financially, but the ability to take that person who's sleeping next to you, or in the other room in some cases when my clients reach out to me who are in relationship limbo, and go, is this really the life that I want? Is this the life that I want? Is this the outcome that I want? I just hate that person. I hate my partner. I'm talking shit about them. I'm complaining about them all the time. If you have a persistent complaint happening, there's something that you'd be wise to look at. And I'm here to help those people who are actually serious about owning it, not the people who want to play victim. And that's what I'm offering. If you're ready to actually own it, if you're ready to actually transform that resentment into absolute love and gratitude, and then learn tools when the breakdowns happen, not if, but when the breakdowns happen, how to use these tools to reconnect, I would love to talk to those people only, not the people who want to set up an appointment with me and just bitch and piss and moan about their partner. I'm not the right person for them. But if you're ready to own up to it and actually become the cause and the matter of the transformation in the relationship and own up to it, I've dealt with people who say they want to own up to it. Then we get into a conversation, and then it seems like they want to play the victim, that their husband or their wife is to blame. I don't want to talk to those people. I want to talk to I want to help people, save them from the absolute devastation that a divorce happens, that a divorce brings in your life. Consider that, when you're in that limbo state and you're thinking maybe I should just go, that consider that you're going to have to say goodbye to half of your friends, minimum, possibly half of your friends. Money and finances split and you're screwed. The lifestyle completely changes. If you have children, the arguments back and forth, and then the impact that you're going to have on those kids because you haven't taken the time to really own up to your shit, tell the truth, and learn powerful tools. The kids, they suffer tremendously because of it. And then many of my clients come from their earlier scenes of breakdown happen when their parents got divorced. So that sets an impact, and it sends the kids on a trajectory where they make it mean something about them, and they're not loved. And reminds me of one of my clients came from Australia, and she was basically full of resentment, ready to end it, and she just wouldn't let him in. Ladies, if you're resenting the crap out of your husbands, yeah, sure, great. Let him listen to this so that he can learn some tools, but that doesn't mean that you're not responsible for actually clearing your resentment. So your husband is actually bringing up triggers within you that you're just not wanting to face about your mom, about your dad. That's on you to clear. He's got his work to do as well, but this is on you to clear. This is a self-development seminar. A marriage, a partnership is a self-development seminar. It's a personal development tool. And if I look at Amanda's job as her job is to just praise me and make me say yes to every single one of my physical advances and never reject me, and to always just be, bowing to the Nima God, then I got a humbling circumstance ready to bitch slap me into reality. Her job is to help me grow. And it is a delusion to think that the purpose of marriage is to make you happy. The purpose of marriage is not to make you happy, it's to grow. And so if you're finding your partner if you're resenting the crap out of your partner, it's not up to them to fix your resentment. They have their work to do, it's true, but it's on your work to do to clear that. So I want to talk to 2 people this week. So we are now Friday here. 2 people this week, today and tomorrow. I have 2 spaces open for coaching calls of people who are ready to actually transform their resentment into becoming powerfully aligned. And so what we do on this call is you tell me you fill out the form right there. You give me your shitty first draft. You tell me all the shit, a problem that you're having. And that's the only time you get to play your victim stories. I get to read it. And then we get on a call and we find out the underlying root cause of the problem. That's all I'm interested in, is uncovering the truth. And then it's your job if you want to take action or not. That's what I'm offering. So what I would love for you to do, if that applies to you, if it doesn't apply to you, what I'm saying is triggering you, you want to make the partner wrong, this ain't for you. This is for you if you want to give your family the best version of you. You want to give your partner the best version of you and learn tools to change yourself and inspire your partner and your family to rise, because a rising tide lifts all boats. So I'd love to for you to reach out. Go ahead and follow that little link there. Reach out to me in the group, The Art of Powerful Alignment. Send me a message. I'm very accessible to those that are actually ready to make a change, because someday is not on the calendar. And how many more days do you want to live without the tools? By the way, it's not your fault. It's just we haven't been given the tools and the accountability to be able to create a magnificent relationship. And the number one factor of a amazing life that you'll have is the quality of your relationships. And I got present to this last year when I looked at the relationships in my life, and they sucked. And I saw one common denominator in all of them. And that common denominator was this guy. And so I got to work and I learned some amazing tools. And I learned that the thing that's causing the most stress in people's lives is the disconnection in their relationships. So I created a process to help people reconnect to themselves and others. And I'd love to help serve. Let me know what your greatest takeaway was on this call. Please share in the comment section, and please tag someone and hit that share button and share it with the network and the group of people who you can really, that really are needing to hear this. And don't hesitate to ask a question. I'm here to serve in any way I can, and I'm here to help those who are absolutely ready. God bless you, and we will see you at the next perfect time. Take care.